Hello friends, I welcome you all to my YouTube channel SS Hub for Fundas and Concepts. Our today's topic is transportation in animals and plants. You have learnt earlier that all organisms need food, water and oxygen for survival. They need to transport all these to various parts of their body. Further, animals need to transport wastes to parts from where they can be removed. In this chapter, you shall learn about transport of substances in plants and animals. See the figure presented here. Do you see the heart and the blood vessels? They function to transport substances and together form the circulatory system. What happens when you get a cut on your body? Blood flows out. But what is blood? Blood is the fluid which flows in blood vessels. It transports substances like digested food from the small intestine to the other parts of the body. It carries oxygen from the lungs to the cells of the body. It also transports waste for removal from the body. How does the blood carry various substances? Blood is a liquid which has cells of various kinds suspended in it. The fluid part of the blood is called plasma. One type of cells are the red blood cells, which is RBC. They contain a red pigment called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin binds with oxygen and transports it to all the parts of the body and ultimately to all the cells. It will be difficult to provide oxygen efficiently to all the cells of the body without hemoglobin. The presence of hemoglobin makes blood appear red. The blood also has white blood cells, which is also known as WPC, which fight against germs that may enter our body. If blood comes out from the cut, after some time the bleeding will stop and a red clot will be plugged in the cut. The clot is formed because of the presence of another type of cells in the blood called platelets. Blood vessels, there are different types of blood vessels in the body. You know that during inhalation, a fresh supply of oxygen fills the lungs. Oxygen has to be transported to the rest of the body. Also, the blood picks up the waste materials including carbon dioxide from the cells. This blood has to go back to the heart to transport to the lungs for removal of carbon dioxide, as you have learnt in chapter 10. So, two types of blood vessels are present in the arteries and veins of the body. Arteries carry oxygen-rich blood from the heart to all parts of the body. Since the blood flow is rapid and at a high pressure, the arteries have thick elastic walls. Veins are the vessels which carry carbon dioxide rich blood from all parts of the body back to the heart. The veins have thin walls. There are valves present in veins which allow blood to flow only towards the heart. The arteries divide into smaller vessels. On reaching the tissues, they divide further into extremely thin tubes called capillaries. The capillaries join up to form veins which empty into the heart. The heart is an organ which beats continuously to act as a pump for the transport of blood, which carries other substances with it. Imagine a pump working for years without stopping. Absolutely impossible. Yet, our heart works like a non-stop pump. Let us now learn about the heart. The heart is located in the chest cavity with its lower tip slightly tilted towards the left. Hold your fingers inwards on your palm. That makes your fist. Your heart is roughly the size of your fist. What will happen if the blood rich in oxygen and the blood rich in carbon dioxide mix with each other? To avoid this from happening, the heart has 4 chambers. The 2 upper chambers are called the atria, and the 2 lower chambers are called the ventricles. The partition between the chamber helps to avoid mixing up of blood rich in oxygen with the blood rich in carbon dioxide. Heartbeat. The walls of the chambers of the heart are made up of muscles. These muscles contract and relax rhythmically. This rhythmic contraction followed by its relaxation constitute a heartbeat. Remember that heartbeats continue every moment of our life. If you place your hand on the left side of your chest, you can feel your heartbeat. The doctor feels your heartbeats with the help of an instrument called a stethoscope. A doctor uses the stethoscope as a device to amplify the sound of the heart. It consists of a chest piece that carries a sensitive diaphragm, two earpieces, a tube joining the parts. Doctors can get clues about the condition of your heart by listening through a stethoscope. The rhythmic beating of the various chambers of the heart maintain circulation of blood and transport of substances to the different parts of the body. Animals such as sponges and hydra do not possess any circulatory system. The water in which they live brings food and oxygen as it enters their bodies. The water carries away waste materials and carbon dioxide as it moves out. Thus, these animals do not need a circulatory fluid like the blood. Let us now learn about the removal of waste other than carbon dioxide. Excretion in animals. Recall how carbon dioxide is removed as a waste from the body through the lungs during exhalation. Also recall that the undigested food is removed during digestion. Let us now find out how the other waste materials are removed from the body. You may wonder where these unwanted materials come from. When our cells perform their functions, certain waste products are released. These are toxic and hence need to be removed from the body. The process of removal of wastes produced in the cells of the living organisms is called excretion. The excretion parts involved in excretion forms the excretory system. Excretory system in humans. The waste which is present in the blood has to be removed from the body. How this can be done? A mechanism to filter the blood is required. This is done by the blood capillaries in the kidneys. When the blood reaches the two kidneys, it contains both useful and harmful substances. The useful substances are absorbed back into the blood. The wastes dissolved in the water are removed as urine. From the kidneys, the urine goes into urinary bladder through tube-like ureters. It is ureters stored in the bladder and is passed out through the urinary opening at the end of a muscular tube called urethra. The kidneys, ureters, bladder and urethra form the excretory system. An adult human being normally passes out 1 to 1.8 liters of urine in 24 hours, and the urine consists of 95% water, 2.5% of urea, 2.5% of other waste products. We all must have experienced that we sweat on a hot summer day. The sweat contains water and salts. We know that water kept in an earthen pot, matka, is cooler. This is because the water evaporates from the pores of the pot, which causes cooling. Similarly, when we sweat, it helps to cool our body. The way in which waste chemicals are removed from the body of the animal depends on the availability of water. Aquatic animals like fishes excrete cell waste in gaseous form, which is ammonia, which directly dissolves in water. Some land animals like birds, lizards, snakes excrete a semi-solid white-colored compound called uric acid. The major excretory product in humans is urea. Sometimes a person's kidneys may stop working due to infection or injury. As a result of kidney failure, waste products starts accumulating in the blood. Such persons cannot survive unless their blood is filtered periodically through an artificial kidney. This process is called dialysis. Transport of substances in plants. In chapter 1, Nutrition in Plants, you have learnt that plants take water and mineral nutrients from the soil, through the roots and transport it to the leaves. The leaves prepare food for the plant using water and carbon dioxide during photosynthesis. You also learnt in chapter 10 that food is the source of energy and every cell of an organism gets energy by the breakdown of glucose. The cells use this energy to carry out vital activities of life. Therefore, food must be made available to every cell of an organism. Transport of water and minerals in plants. Plants absorb water and minerals by the roots. The roots have a root hair. The root hair increase the surface area of the root for the absorption of water and mineral nutrients dissolved in water. The root hair is in contact with the water present between the soil particles. Plants have pipe-like vessels to transport water and nutrients from the soil. The vessels are made up of special cells forming the vascular tissue. A vascular tissue is a group of tissue cells that perform specialized function in an organism. The vascular tissue for the transport of water and nutrients in the plant is called the xylem. The xylem forms a continuous network of channels that connects roots to the leaves through the stem and branches and thus transports water to the entire plant. You know that leaves synthesize food. The food has to be transported to all parts of the plant. This is done by the vascular tissue called the phloem. Phloem and xylem transfer substances in the plants. Transpiration. In class 6, you have learnt that plants release a lot of water by the process of transpiration. Plants absorb mineral nutrients and water from the soil. Not all the water absorbed is utilized by the plant. The water evaporates through the stomata present on the surface of the leaves by the process of transpiration. The evaporation of water from leaves generate a suction pull, which can pull water to great heights in the tall trees. Transpiration also cools the plant. Let us summarize what we have learned in this chapter. In most animals, the blood that circulates in the body distributes food and oxygen to different cells of the body. It also carries waste products to different parts of the body for excretion. Circulatory system consists of the heart and blood vessels. In humans, blood flows through arteries and veins and the heart acts as a pumping organ. Blood consists of plasma, RBC, WBC and platelets. Blood is red due to the presence of a red pigment called hemoglobin. The human heart beats about 70 to 80 times per minute in an adult person. This is called heart rate. Arteries carry blood from the heart to all parts of the body. Veins carry blood from all parts of the body back to the heart. Removal of waste products from the body is called excretion. Excretory system of humans consists of 2 kidneys, 2 ureters, a urinary bladder and urethra. Salts and urea are removed along with water as sweat. Fish excrete waste substances which directly dissolve in water. Birds, insects and lizards execute uric acid in semi-solid form. Water and mineral nutrients are absorbed by roots from the soil. Nutrients are transported along with water to the entire plant via the vascular tissue called xylem. The vascular tissue for the transport of food to the various parts of the plant is phloem. A lot of water is lost by plants in the form of vapor through stomata during transpiration. Transpiration generates a force which pulls up water absorbed by the roots from the soil to reach the stem and leaves. I thank you all for your listening. Please stay tuned to this channel for more updates. Cheers.